All right, I need you to just picture this. It was the mid-2010s, and a new kind of gold rush was sweeping across the globe. Not the dusty, pickaxe-wielding kind, but a digital one. This was the era of cryptocurrency, a world promising untold riches, decentralized finance, and a revolution against traditional banking. Millions, from tech-savvy enthusiasts to everyday people looking for a way out of financial struggle, were drawn to its intoxicating allure. It felt like the future, and everyone wanted a piece of it. In this exciting, unregulated frontier, charismatic figures emerged, promising to guide eager investors to prosperity. One such figure was Alex Venture, a composite character representing various real-life crypto scammers. Alex wasn't just a founder, he was a visionary, a smooth talker with a knack for making complex technology sound incredibly simple and incredibly profitable. He launched InfinityCoin, a composite project, a new cryptocurrency platform that promised groundbreaking technology, unheard-of returns, and a community-driven ecosystem. His marketing was slick, his presentations mesmerizing, and his online presence was everywhere. The hook was irresistible. InfinityCoin offered daily, guaranteed profits, percentages that seemed too good to be true, yet somehow, in the wild west of crypto, felt entirely plausible. Influencers, some genuinely fooled, others paid, raved about InfinityCoin's potential. Testimonials flooded social media, featuring smiling faces flaunting new cars, exotic vacations, and luxurious homes, all supposedly bought with InfinityCoin profits. The fear of missing out, FOMO, was a potent, pervasive force, driving more and more people to pour their life savings, their retirement funds, and even borrowed money into Alex Venture's seemingly golden project. For months, InfinityCoin appeared to be an unprecedented success. Investors saw their digital dashboards light up with fabricated returns. Withdrawal requests initially were fulfilled, albeit slowly, further solidifying trust. Alex Venture lived a lavish lifestyle, throwing extravagant parties, flying in private jets, and buying mansions, all publicly attributed to InfinityCoin's meteoric rise. He was celebrated as a genius, a pioneer leading his followers to financial freedom. Unsuspecting investors, watching their digital portfolios grow exponentially, believed they had found the holy grail of investment. They were completely unaware that the entire foundation of their digital fortune was built on nothing more than elaborate lies, a massive unsolved mystery waiting to collapse. For months, the digital dashboards of InfinityCoin investors glowed with fabricated profits, fueling dreams of early retirement and boundless wealth. Alex Venture continued his public displays of opulence, reinforcing the illusion of success. But beneath the glittering facade, the cracks were already forming, invisible to the hopeful masses, but meticulously planned by Venture. The first signs of trouble began subtly. Withdrawal requests, once seemingly smooth, started experiencing delays. Customer support, previously responsive, became slow and offered vague explanations about system upgrades or blockchain congestion. Investors felt a twinge of unease, but Venture's reassurances, often delivered through slick video messages, temporarily calmed their fears. He blamed external factors, celebrated minor achievements, and even announced new, even more ambitious projects, dangling the carrot of higher returns to keep the money flowing in. Then came the inevitable. It wasn't a gradual decline, it was a sudden, catastrophic collapse. One morning, investors woke up to find the InfinityCoin website inaccessible. The trading platform had vanished. Communication channels, Telegram groups, email support, social media pages all went dark. The charismatic Alex Venture, once omnipresent, disappeared without a trace. His lavish mansions were empty, his private jet untraceable, his digital footprint erased. Millions, perhaps even billions of dollars that had been poured into InfinityCoin had simply evaporated into the digital ether. The aftermath was immediate and devastating. Lives were ruined in an instant. People who had invested their entire life savings, their retirement funds, money for their children's education, found themselves staring at empty screens. The profound sense of betrayal was suffocating. Anger, despair, and confusion rippled through the global community of victims. For many, it was more than just financial ruin. It was the loss of hope, dreams, and a future they believed was secure. Law enforcement agencies, already struggling to keep pace with the rapidly evolving world of cryptocurrency, found themselves facing a new, immense challenge. The digital nature of the crime, The anonymity of blockchain transactions and the international scope of the fraud made tracing the vanished funds an incredibly complex and frustrating task. The money became a true unsolved mystery, a digital ghost elusive to even the most experienced investigators. Where did it go? And how could the mastermind behind it simply disappear without a trace? The chilling reality set in. The digital gold rush had ended in a spectacular, devastating bust, leaving behind only ruins and unanswered questions. The immediate aftermath of the InfinityCoin collapse was chaos, but beneath the panic, a painstaking investigation was beginning. Law enforcement, often a step behind the rapid evolution of cryptocurrency, had to confront a new kind of crime scene, a digital one. The millions of dollars hadn't vanished into thin air. They had moved, leaving a trail, albeit a deliberately obfuscated one, on the very blockchain that was supposed to provide transparency. The concept of blockchain tracing is fascinating. Every single transaction in cryptocurrency, from the smallest fraction of a coin to multi-million-dollar transfers, is recorded on a public, immutable ledger. In theory, this means every penny can be followed. But in practice, it's like trying to follow a single drop of water through a vast, constantly moving ocean. Alex Venture, or whoever was pulling the strings, knew this. They employed sophisticated techniques to make the funds virtually untraceable. This is where specialized investigators, often referred to as crypto forensic auditors, came into play. These are the digital detectives, painstakingly following the crumbs left on the blockchain. They used advanced software to map the flow of funds, watching as millions moved through countless anonymous wallets, bounced between different exchanges, and were routed through mixing services designed specifically to obscure their origin. It was a tedious, frustrating process that often led to dead ends, leaving the money as a true digital ghost, an unsolved mystery echoing through the decentralized ledger. As the digital hunt continued, whispers began to emerge. The funds weren't just gone. They had likely been converted into other, harder-to-trace cryptocurrencies, then potentially laundered through seemingly legitimate businesses or cashed out in obscure jurisdictions with lax financial regulations. The sheer scale and complexity of the operation suggested more than just a single con artist. Was Alex Venture truly the sole mastermind, or was he part of a larger, even more strange, dark, and mysterious criminal network? The fact that Venture remained completely vanished fueled intense conspiracy theories. Did he truly pull off the perfect escape, living lavishly in some hidden corner of the world? Or had he, like so many others who dabble in the darker side of vast wealth, become a victim himself? The crypto world is notorious for its brutal, sometimes violent underbelly. There were whispers of rival groups, of enforcers, or even of investors taking justice into their own hands. Tales began to circulate about cold wallets, vast sums locked away with keys only the founder possessed, and dead man's switches that supposedly released funds if something happened to them. These tantalizing, often unprovable narratives added a chilling, creepy layer to an already perplexing case. The hunt for the vanished millions became a hunt for the truth behind a vanishing man, and the unsettling question of whether the digital gold rush had ended in mere fraud or something far more sinister. The world of high-stakes cryptocurrency is often compared to the Wild West, unregulated, dangerous, and filled with both immense opportunity and terrifying peril. While the disappearance of millions of dollars in a crypto scam is devastating enough, a far more chilling reality sometimes emerges. The people connected to these vanishing fortunes also disappear, or worse, turn up dead under mysterious circumstances. It's when the unsolved mystery of missing money transforms into a full-blown horror story. One of the most infamous real-life examples that captures this dread is the case of Gerald Cotton, the founder of Quadriga CX, once Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange. In December 2018, Cotton suddenly died while on his honeymoon in India, reportedly from complications related to Crohn's disease. The problem? He was allegedly the only person who held the private keys to cold wallets containing over $190 million in custom cryptocurrency. With his death, the money became irretrievably lost, locked away in the blockchain forever. But for many, Cotton's death felt far too convenient, far too strange, dark, and mysterious. The circumstances, the timing, the suddenness It all fueled rampant conspiracy theories. Did he fake his own death to escape with the funds? Was he murdered by powerful entities, perhaps angry investors, or even shadowy figures from the crypto underworld? The lack of concrete, verifiable details surrounding his death, combined with the lost millions, has kept the mystery alive to this day. His case became the poster child for the dangers lurking within the unregulated digital frontier. And Cotton wasn't an isolated incident, though his case was certainly the most high-profile. Whispers and theories persist around other, less publicized cases. There are stories of developers of obscure coins who suddenly went vanished, taking liquidity with them. Individuals who threatened to expose large-scale frauds found themselves in perilous situations, some disappearing, others dying in seemingly accidental ways. The stakes in the crypto world are not just financial, they can be fatal. The very nature of cryptocurrency, its pseudo-anonymity, its global reach, and its lack of traditional oversight, creates a fertile ground for these creepy scenarios. When fortunes worth hundreds of millions, or even billions, are at stake, the lines between legitimate business, fraud, and outright violence can become terrifyingly blurred. The body in the code serves as a stark warning. In the pursuit of digital gold, sometimes lives simply vanish, or are violently ended, leaving behind a chilling trail of unsolved mystery and profound loss. The digital gold rush for countless victims of schemes like InfinityCoin ended not in riches, but in ruin and despair. When millions of dollars simply vanish, and the individuals behind them disappear or die under suspicious circumstances, the pursuit of justice becomes a tortuous, often frustrating odyssey. For many victims, justice remains an elusive dream. The decentralized, borderless nature of cryptocurrency makes tracing funds incredibly difficult. Even when perpetrators are identified, they often reside in jurisdictions with lax extradition laws, turning the legal battle into an international game of cat and mouse. Funds that are recovered often represent only a tiny fraction of what was lost, a bitter pill for those who poured their life savings into these elaborate cons. The emotional toll of being defrauded, of having their trust shattered, often lingers far longer than the financial devastation. The shocking deaths and disappearances of figures like Gerald Cotton have cast a long, creepy shadow over the entire cryptocurrency space. These events fueled intense conspiracy theories and amplified a crucial question: how can an industry promising a revolutionary future also harbor such darkness and lack of accountability? Governments and financial institutions, initially slow to react, are now scrambling to implement regulations. This ongoing debate pits the core crypto ethos of decentralization and anonymity against the desperate need for consumer protection and fraud prevention. It's a complex, evolving landscape where the rules are still being written, often in response to the latest, most devastating scam. The legacy of these vanished millions and the tragic fates tied to them serves as a stark, undeniable warning. They highlight the inherent dangers of speculative, unregulated markets, where promises of guaranteed returns are almost always too good to be true. Investors are now, more than ever, urged to exercise extreme due diligence, to research projects exhaustively, and to understand the technology behind their investments. The mantra, "do your own research," has become a desperate necessity, not just a recommendation. Ultimately, the ghost in the blockchain lingers as a chilling reminder of modern-day perils. It's a strange, dark, and mysterious testament to human greed and the seductive power of deception in the digital age. These true stories of fortunes gained and utterly lost, and of lives that simply vanished, underscore that in the wild, untamed frontier of cryptocurrency, the stakes are not just financial. Sometimes, in the pursuit of digital gold, the most precious thing lost is a life itself.